boss.
Another unfortunate made a slave to unceasing hunger. I pity you. But, as bleak as this refuge may be, it is our refuge nonetheless. And you are not welcome here.
Oh, fancy. No, you can't summon all three. You can only summon one. I'm not using that. Where does this lead? Oh.
I'm not without conscience. I understand the instinct to pity the boy found at the base of the mine, and the desire to condemn the hallowed sentinels for placing him there. But don't be hasty. Unfortunate as it may be, the bond between the boy and Umbral is indissoluble, and his role in safeguarding Mornstead against the darkness is vital. After all, it's an undeniable fact of life that there can be virtue in suffering. Our holy work continues, Lampbearer. Fellow sanctified vessel, may Aureus' divine radiance flow through me and into you.
Okay, so the boss is dead. Let's take a look at the items that are on offer for having defeated her, which are going to be available from the Remembrance. Harrower Dervala, the Pledge Knight. We get her weapon. It's a grand sword. It does seem to be very powerful. It does have an attack power of 172, most of it physical, with a decent amount of withering damage. It does require a great deal of strength and agility to use. So this is a high-end weapon. It's a very slow, very big weapon to use. I imagine you're not going to be dual wielding this anytime soon. Just to give you guys a comparison, that kind of attack power, if I look at Pieta's sword, which is upgraded +3, which is a really good weapon, it has roughly the same kind of attack power as this thing has by default. Though obviously Pieta's sword is doing more holy damage than Dervala's sword is doing. And also it's significantly faster. That's one of the advantages of Pieta's sword. Crossbow wise, we get the crossbow that, again, is focusing more on withering. Does require a good deal of strength. Does require a good deal of agility to use. But might just be a really good crossbow with 6.8 weight. Armor wise, her armor set, if we're looking at every single piece, her armor set has a decent amount of physical protection, though it's not the best. The torso is a medium torso, so you've got a medium head, you've got a medium torso, but you do have heavy arms and you do have heavy legs with a good deal of physical protection and a good deal of withering protection on these pieces, on all of these pieces. Then you got 2 spells, Martyrdom, which requires 22 Radiance and 22 Inferno to use, and an Umbral Catalyst, and then of course Barrage of Echoes. So you get the ability of summoning a giant knell from beneath the ground, damaging enemies within its vicinity, so an AoE spell. And then you get the ability of launching several orbs of umbral magic, which explode upon impact. So a lot of withering damage, a lot of umbral damage, if you will, and a lot of umbral protection. But not so much protection in terms of holy and fire, which is actually quite an issue, because you're looking at the resistances there for burn, bleed, ignite, smite. They are fairly low in comparison to other armors. For instance, I'm using Fitzroy's armor, and you can see that Fitzroy's armor has significantly more in terms of protection from everything else, though it doesn't hold a candle in terms of the withering protection. But if we're talking about withering protection, we can always use the Angel of the Void armor, medium armor as well. Not as much physical protection, sure, slightly So less in terms of physical protection, but significantly more in terms of holy and fire protection, and not necessarily that far behind in terms of wither protection. So I think the armor, if we're looking at it, the armor is specifically designed to be used against enemies that are going to do a lot of withering damage. Now, from my perspective, wither is not necessarily the biggest concern. The other resistances are far more worth it. But hey, if you're specifically dealing with those kind of enemies, if you're spending a lot of time in Umbral, then might be worth it. Otherwise, probably not recommended. Kosian here, signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and enable notifications, and stay tuned for more.